have a hatred for the French. Yet when the boats pull up to the French waters that are bonjour, bonjour, come on. Anyways, farmers across Europe have taken over. This is how you protest. Looks like an Indian festival out there. They're dumping turds on law enforcement. They're turning streets into Texas barbecue. And they are literally driving the crooks out of the city.
Les gaz déconnaient, viennent voir une vache avec son beau se faire gazer. Elles ont rien demandé. Elles vont mourir et en plus sur les gaz. Les humains on s'en fout. Tirez-nous à balles réelles dessus, je m'en branle. Mais gazez pas ces pauvres bestiaux.
You thought that was awesome? How freaking cool is this? Oh my gosh. Yeah, the farmers have won this one, man. And I'm going to show you exactly why they're protesting and how they've already gotten the EU to capitulate and surrender to their demands. I have never seen the Spanish people angry at anything, but they came out too. Momeje Sebastian, me speaky Spanish. Come on, baby, I can speak it. This inspires me, man. That's amazing. So Eva Vladingerbrook, Dutch people, don't come at me to apologize for saying her name wrong. Okay? If you know, you know. It's my favorite player of all time. Only my Dutch people will know that. She is going to explain why the EU has been coming after the farmers in a vicious manner. Then I'll show you the victory for the farmers that just came out.
So the global war on farming that I've spoken many times about is still very much alive and kicking. This time I wanted to come to you with an update specifically about what's going on with the UK farmers. Keir Starmer, arguably the worst politician right now, the worst government leader in Europe, has decided to specifically target family farms by introducing a new inheritance tax law, which essentially means that any farmer in the United Kingdom who, when he dies, wants to pass on his farm to his children, like the farm has been passed on to him or to her for probably centuries on end, now won't be able to do that without having his kids pay 20% of inheritance tax on any assets that this farm has or any worth that this farm has that supersedes £1 million. And now, of course, Keir Starmer's government is banking on the fact that you're going to think, oh, but it means that it will only target very rich farmers. Wrong. Anyone who knows any farmers or knows anything about farming in the 21st century knows that farmers aren't, especially family farmers, are not rich people. They are people who work their asses off 24/7 to provide you with food, and that they are not making a whole lot of profit on their work, if they're making any profit at all, but that the only wealth, quote unquote, that they have is actually their land. I'm talking to you right now from my family farm, and their machinery. And with that, you'll easily get to that threshold of £1 million. So most family farms, even the smallest ones, will be affected by this inheritance tax. And now I think inheritance tax in and of itself is a despicable communist ideal. Like why does the state have any claim to make to your property when you die? Why wouldn't that be, just for your kids? Why wouldn't that just go to your kids? Beats me. But anyway, that's the communist ideal, of course, also of Keir Starmer. And so this new inheritance tax will specifically kill off family farming in the United Kingdom. And I've already seen heartbreaking reports now of a farmer this morning who, upon hearing this news about the inheritance tax, has hung himself. And that's something that sadly I've heard about many times also in the Netherlands, because like I said, this is a global war on farming. This is happening all around the Western world. And the goal is, of course, to kill off family farming, to kill off small businesses like this, so that the government can control the food and control the people. Because what will be left? Family farms like this won't exist anymore on this trajectory, with this trajectory. The only thing that will be left are state-controlled, centralized farms where they can, of course, manipulate your food, control the market, and control you, control what you eat, when you eat. And that's why I really hope that the UK farmers will rise up, just like the Dutch farmers have done, the German farmers have done, and the French, because God knows this fight is far from over.
Well explained. That should give you just a little bit of a picture of how harsh the countries in Europe are going against farmers who literally feed their civilization. So another thing the EU was about to do was sign this free trade agreement with South American countries that would bring South American farm products to flood the European market, making competition impossible for European farmers who do it with higher standards and actually pay their employees a livable wage. But with the demonstrations, the EU has delayed their free trade deal with the South American countries. Top EU officials had hoped to sign the EU-Mercosur deal in Brazil this weekend after 26 years of negotiations. Instead, the EU Commission confirmed that the signature had been put off until January. Experts say the delay could dent the EU's negotiating credibility globally as it seeks to forge new trade ties amid commercial tensions with the United States and China. Once ratified, the trade deal would cover a market of 780 million people and a quarter of the globe's gross domestic product, and progressively remove duties on almost all goods traded between the two blocs. French farmers' unions, who feared the deal would undercut their livelihoods, welcomed the postponement. The decision came hours after farmers and tractors blocked roads and set off fireworks in Brussels, prompting police to respond with tear gas and water cannons. The farmers brought potatoes and eggs to throw and waged a furious back and forth with police. Protesters burned tires in a folk's wooden coffin bearing the word agriculture. Their fire unleashed a black cloud that swirled with white tear gas. The European Parliament evacuated some staff due to damage caused by protesters. "We are fighting to defend our jobs," said Armand Chevron, a 23-year-old farmer. Hundreds of farmers like Pierre Vroman, 60 years old, had arrived on tractors which they parked to block roads around the key institutions of the EU. Other farmers came as far away as Spain and Poland, and reservations about the deal appear to be growing. French President Emmanuel Macron dug in against the Mercosur deal as he arrived for Thursday's EU summit, pushing for further concessions and more discussions in January. He said he has been in discussions with Italian, Polish, Belgian, Austrian, and Irish colleagues, among others, about delaying it. Farmers already face an enormous amount of challenges. We cannot sacrifice them to this accord. Worried by a surging far right that rallies support by criticizing the deal, Macron's centrist government has, I don't know why they're calling that centrist. It's a radical left government. They have demanded safeguards to monitor and stop large economic disruption in the EU, increase regulations in the Mercosur nations like pesticide restrictions and more inspections of imports at EU ports. The EU ultimately bit off more than they could chew. It's like they can't read the room. Their farmers want protectionism like Donald Trump is implementing here in the United States. I believe in free trade, but trade is really for poor countries. Wealthy, developed countries should be growing their own food. What else are they developed at if not feeding themselves? The consistent trend we see in these third world countries in Africa and some parts of Asia and Latin America is food insecurity. But it's like the Europeans want to outsource their food making to other countries and make life absolutely impossible for local farmers. There's nothing wrong with importing some mangoes from Brazil every now and then, but they should be fighting for their farmers to have access to markets around the world as opposed to fighting to open up their market to further destroy their trade imbalance. Why aren't they thinking about this logically? If they drive out the farmers, who's going to be paying the taxes for these massive welfare states they have? At least in the United States, we can print as much money as we want because we're the world's reserve currency. And if you try to get off our currency, we're going to bomb you with our great military. But Europe is in a very fetal position. They're vulnerable right now on so many fronts. They have so many problems, they can't afford to isolate their farmers. But anyways, thank you all very much for watching. God bless and goodbye. I wish these Patriots all the love and luck in the world. I think they'll win. They are winning.